Can I have a very, very warm welcome for Mr. Laidback Luke?
Can everyone hear me? Yeah. Okay, so I'm Laidback Luke, and I'm a Denon DJ. Who would have thought? So yeah, this is a big switch for me. So the players have been on Dancefair as well. Who of you were able to touch the players already? Okay, cool. What'd you think? Good? Yeah. So, you know, this was my first reaction when Denon approached me as well. It was like, because I originally had something like, I don't feel the need to like look into something else. Why would I? I'm very comfortable in what I'm doing. But then when I saw the features, I was so amazed by it. So there's a lot of things that I'm just going to explain to you that just make sense and that are very much of this time. So for instance, if you go into the main screen is touchscreen, just like your iPhone, which makes a lot of sense because, you know, everyone is swiping away all day, and now you can swipe on your DJ gear as well. And then just small things. So for instance, if a track is playing, you can touch stuff. So this is the time that's remaining right here. You can just press it. So this is the time remaining, and this is the time you're into the track, which is great. That's just like one of the nice, cool features. Obviously, my logos are on top of the players, and it doesn't mean that if you buy a Denon CD player that you're going to get my logo on it. No, you can actually put your own logo on it, which is amazing. You can also choose not to put your logo on, and then you'll see that you'll just get the artwork of the track. So this one won't show up because I have my logo imprinted on top, but usually you get the artwork of the tracks as well. Well, this is mainly fun for my type of DJing, is we get a whole row of hot cues on the bottom now. And it's 8 of them. You don't need to switch through menus to try and get more. It's just 8 of them ready to go, really. So I do a lot of pre-programming, but I can show you that you can program the hot cues on the spot and just have some fun with it. So my pre-programming basically consists of, so the way I do live mashups is I set a cue point on the break of the track, on the drop, and then on the second break. So this means if I have a track playing here, I'll just make a quick loop. Then I can switch straight into a drop of another track. Really easy, really simple. But with the hot cues, you don't actually need to prepare. So I'm just going to load up a track and just make sure my quantize is on, which is touchscreen as well, which is great.
The only one that
So when a track is playing and the quantize is on, and I see that my quantize settings are a little bit big right now. Oh, 1/4, that's okay. Then technically, when the other track is playing, so it's not only the hot cues that are on here. So you get 8 hot cues, but you get 8 loop cues as well. You get 8 like roll pads, 8 slicer pads. But for instance, in the loop section, there's 2 layers of loops. So you have the programmable loops. And let me loop out. And you have the second layer of loops, with which is just like a shortening type of... hang on, loop out. So whenever you go here, it makes the loop shorter. So that's the second layer of looping. You have 2 layers of slicing as well, so now I'm just going to do a little bit of slicing. So this layer of slicing is basically straightforward slicing where the track just plays along, and then in between you can slice. But the second layering of slicing, your track stays in a loop. So, you know, obviously this costs a little bit of time. If you don't want the track to end, you can choose the second layer of slicing, and which means the track will just go around in a loop for like 8 bars, or 2 bars, 8 measures. Lots of fun, lots of options. We have various pitch ranges. They range from 8, 10, 20, 50, 100. I need to talk to you about the layering, because this takes the CD players to the next level. So every player is actually 2 players. 2 players in one. So now I need to do a mix with it, right? Okay. So this is layer A with the green circle, which you can actually you can customize that. Shortcuts. There we go. Layer color. So layer A is green right now. I can turn it to red, or pink, or purple, or blue, or whatever color you want. You can save it, and that's your color, your preference. So in this case, layer A is green, but layer B, and then we're going to go into the shortcuts. Layer B is blue. Yeah, here we go. So the thing with the layers is that layer A would be here, and layer B would be the next channel, because if you don't put it out to separate channels, you aren't able to control it. So layer B right here. Switching to layer A. So mixing on one player now. So multiple layers, it's a tricky one. It's something you need to get used to. But I found that, so obviously I've been practicing a lot at home to try and get used to like this new environment. But it'll definitely give you like multiple dimensions. And it's insane how much that opens up. So technically, this is like having 6 players here, which is incredible. So if your track is almost at the end and you think you're getting in trouble, you didn't put any hot cues in there, you're like, oh, I don't really like this end loop I'm in right now. Then you can beat jump. You can beat jump yourself back into the track without losing the tempo. Even if you don't like press on the rhythm. And now I'm back halfway through. It's crazy. Some new technology. And with this new technology comes like a very big processor as well. So obviously we all know the famous emergency loop, which is tricky when you're playing and it's a club and someone rips his USB out and you're just stuck with a loop trying to prepare your entrance or whatever. So that's like a 2-minute loop. And you're like, okay, what's happening now? Nothing much, but let's get ready. So now, so my USB stick is out, the track is still playing, and even the hotkeys are still working. So you get the full functionality of the track still, and there's no emergency loop. It's like an emergency track right now. There's more things in there that you need to know in the club. There we go. Fantastic. So for instance, and I'm just going to do this. Someone at Denon showed me this, and it's kind of tricky. I'm just going to rip out the power chord now. So a track is playing. So which is kind of funky, but you get some time to be like, oh my God, what's happening? Let's dive into the back, and then you can still do your own thing. Tons of options of sorting your tracks, and it's funny because at my real DJing seminar, I said, I don't really mix on key and everything, and mixing in key is not something the old-fashioned DJs used to do, which is still true, but right now, with these players, you actually see like the mixed in key number and letter right in front of your nose. And I even see myself catching myself now and looking, oh, this track is like 7B. What other 7B track can I play? And so I'm kind of switching now, where it's nicer now to like search acapellas, and it's just really easy because the letter is right in front of your nose. You can sort tracks with playlists. So to select a track, I use the old method and just press here. Technically, you can swipe, and a new track will come in. Or if I swipe, oh God, this sounds really Tinder. Swipe right, swipe left. If I swipe left, then you add a track to your crate, to your playlist, or it's like the prepare box. And what else? So you can sort all types of playlists. You can search by genre. You have all genres in there. BPM, key, tons of options over here. You can sort by artists, and it'll just... So there's like a whole range of all these new things that I've been missing all these years, and I'm really blown away by now.
Who had a question? Sorry. Oh, there. Yeah.
Is there something like Recordbox for Denon?
Yeah. Yes. It's called Engine, and it's really easy, and it feels really familiar. And in Engine there's a lot of options as well that you can add on to the tracks. Yeah.
Hi, Luke.
Hi.
I was wondering, I heard that you put this one on your rider for over the CDJs. How does clubs react to that?
Well, it's a little bit rough. I mean, obviously they'll need to if I come and play. But you see now, because it's a change, it's always frightening and scary and a bit getting used to. But actually from next weekend on, I will only be performing on the Denon setup. And Denon is that amazing. They'll send a guy from Denon over to all my shows. He can bring extra players and stuff like that. And it's going to take over.
Hi, Luke.
Hi.
With the layering on and only 4 faders, how do you work for CDJs with it?
Yeah, good point. So when there's 4 CDJs connected, the layering option is off. I guess if you would have a second mixer or something, you could use full layering. But so they were gonna set up 4 players for me, because before I used to always play with 4 players. Now I said let's do 3 because I want to show them the layering. So technically you could even get away with just 2 players, which would be 4. Yeah.
How is the key lock sounding if you go above 6%?
Good question. No, the key lock is amazing. Yeah. So this is 30%. It's great. 50.
It holds up nicely.
Yeah, the processing is really strong in these players. But obviously it's like a whole new, there's so many options. So what are you going to do? Which track are you going to play? What layer are you going to use? Where was this effects again? But I hope you see that there's a ton of possibilities and that everything that's about to come is next level. Thank you for being here.
Give it up for Laidback Luke, everybody.